Hello dear students. So today we will move on to theorem 2.47. So in the last class we have given the definition of connected sets. So a set is said to be connected if it cannot be written as a union of two separated non-empty sets. Now we have an important theorem regarding this. A subset E of the real line R is connected if and only if it has the following property. That is, this theorem gives the necessary and sufficient condition for a subset of the real line R to be connected. So it says that if X element of E and Y element of E with the property that X less than Z less than Y, then the Z should be an element of E. The connected set will have the property that is in the real line. We are talking about the real line. So in the real line, if we have any element X in a set E and Y is also a element of the set E. So E is a subset of R. Then if you take any element which lie in between X and Y, that element should also be an element of E. So that is, all the elements which lie between X and Y should also be an element of E. So if this property is there, then the set will be connected. So connected means it cannot be written as a disjoint union of two separated sets. So it is fully connected, you cannot separate it. Okay. So we will prove this. So first we will suppose that E is connected in R. So we will suppose that E is connected in R. We have to prove this property that whenever X and Y are in E, there is a Z such that Z is in E. For this we will assume the converse. Suppose that this property doesn't hold. That is, there exists a Z for which we have XY in E and there exists a Z for which X less than Z less than Y, then Z is not an element of E. So we are assuming the converse. For XY in E and for some Z and for some Z. For some Z, if we have X less than Z less than Y, then it implies Z is not an element of E. So we have assumed the converse. Now suppose that the set E, we denote the set E by AZ union BZ. Now what is AZ? AZ is nothing but minus infinity Z intersection E. And BZ is defined to be Z infinity intersection E. So we have the number line here. So this side we have minus infinity, this side we have infinity. Now we have taken two elements X and Y in the set E, but we are saying that the element Z is not an element of E. So Z can be anywhere. So we are defining the set AZ to be minus infinity to Z. So Z lies between here, but it is not an element of E. So minus infinity to Z. Okay, we have this one. And if you take intersection with E, you will get AZ. And BZ is nothing but Z to infinity. So this is minus infinity to Z. And if you take Z to infinity, this is Z to infinity intersection E. So E is this set. Then we can see that E is the union of these two sets. So if you take the union, you will get it as E. So we can also verify it like this. So AZ union BZ, so it will be minus infinity to Z intersection E union my z to infinity, z to infinity intersection E. Now you can see that this is same as minus infinity to z union z to infinity intersection E. And this will be minus infinity to infinity intersection E, and it will be same as E. So it means that we can do it like this. So we in the assumption we have assumed that our this part does not hold, so z is not an element of E. So we have split it into two sets, one minus infinity to z and another z to infinity. Okay, and we define az to be minus infinity to z intersection E, and bz to be z to infinity intersection E. Now it is clear that E is az union bz. Also now we will show that az and bz are non-empty separated sets. Okay, so if we get az and bz are non-empty separated sets, it means that E is written as a union of two non-empty separated sets. Okay, so from this you will get E will be connected. From here we will get that E is written as a union of two non-empty separated sets, which means that E is not connected, which is a contradiction to our assumption. We have assumed that E is connected. Okay. So first we will show that they are non-empty set. So to show that it is non-empty, we should produce an element of it. So we can see that x is an element of minus infinity z. So you can see here it is x is here. So it is an element of minus infinity comma z. Also x is an element of E. Okay, x is an element of E. So this implies x is an element of minus infinity z intersection E. So it is az. So this implies x is an element of Ez. Also y is an element of z infinity. So you can see here is y. So it is an element of z infinity. Also y is an element of E. From here we have y is an element of E. So y is an element of z infinity intersection E. So y is an element of bz. So we got two elements. So we got one element in az and one element in bz. It means that az and bz are non-empty sets. Next we will show that they are separated sets. Now we know that this az is intersection of two sets. So A intersection B is a subset of A. So we know that A intersection B is a subset of A. So it follows Az is a subset of minus infinity comma z. Similarly, Bz is a subset of z infinity. And since the intersection of minus infinity z and z infinity is empty set, and these are subsets of it. Okay, so their intersection is empty. Minus Az is a subset of this, Bz is a subset of this. It means that their intersection is empty. Also the intersection with the limit point is also empty. That is, we can say that Az intersection Bz closure is empty, and also Az closure Bz is empty. Okay, so it means that Az and Bz are separated sets, and we also got that we have E equal to Az union Bz. So it means that E is written as a union of two separated sets, which means that E is not connected. Okay, it is a contradiction to our assumption, and hence what we assumed is wrong. We must have Z element of E. So first part we have proved. Now conversely we have to assume that this property holds. So the property is that whenever x is an element of E, yn is an element of E with x less than z less than y, then the z is also an element of E. That is, the points which lie between x and y should also be an element of the set E. And our aim is to show that E is connected. So suppose we assume the converse, that is E is not connected. So if we assume that E is not connected, then we will arrive at a contradiction. And what will be the contradiction? The contradiction will be a contradiction to the property that we have assumed. Okay, we have assumed this property, so the contradiction will come to this property. Okay, so we assume that E is not connected. So not connected means E can be written as union of two non-empty separated sets. So there exists two sets A and B such that E equal to A union B. A intersection B closure is empty. A closure intersection B is empty. Okay, now we take, we should get a contradiction to this property. Okay, so for this we will take two elements, one element X in A and another element Y in B with the property that X is less than Y. Okay, so X is an element of A, Y is an element of B with X less than Y. Now we define Z to be supremum of A intersection closed interval XY. Okay, A intersection closed interval. So we have this XY closed interval is there and Y is an element of B. Okay, so its supremum we define by Z, and by a theorem which you have already studied, we know that the supremum lies in the closure of that set. So we can say that Z is an element of A closure. Okay, so Z is an element of A closure, and we have assumed that A closure intersection B is empty. Okay, so since Z is an element of A closure, it should not be an element of B. So it means that Z is not an element of B. So Z is not an element of B. It is equivalent to saying that Z lies between X and Y, and here you will not have the equality sign. Okay, here we have the equality sign because Z can be an element of A, because X comes from A and Y comes from B. So if I write X less than Z, Z less than or equal to Y, this means that Z can be an element of A and Z can be an element of B. Okay, but if I write X less than Z less than or equal to Z less than Y, it means that X can be an element of A, but sorry, not X, Z can be an element of A, but Z cannot be an element of B. Okay, so that's why we have written X not an element of Z not an element of B means that X less than or equal to Z less than Y. So we are assuming that Z is not an element of B. Now we will see if it is in A or not. Okay. Now suppose that if Z is not an element of A, if Z is not in A, we will get X less than Z less than Y. Okay. So what we are getting is Z is not in A. Z is not in A and Z is not in B. Okay. Then Z is not in A union B. That is, Z is not an element of E, because we have assumed E is equal to A union B. So we got X and Y in E with X less than Z less than Y, but Z is not an element of E. So it is a contradiction to our assumption, that is the property which we have assumed. Okay, so hence this is not possible. So now the next condition is that if Z is an element of A. Now if Z is an element of A, then we know that Z is not an element of B closure, because A intersection B closure is empty. So if Z is not in B closure, it means that we can find the Z1 such that Z1 lies between Z and Y. Okay, so Z is not in B closure, we can find but Y is in B. Okay, Y is an element of B. Now Z is not an element of B closure, so we can find an element Z1 which does not lies in B. Okay, so we can find a Z1 in between Z and Y. Now Z1 is not an element of, because here you can see equality is not there. So Z1 is not an element of A and Z1 is not an element of B, which implies Z1 is not an element of A union B, which implies Z1 is not an element of E. But we have that this X is less than Z. Okay, X less than z, less than z1, less than y. This we have. So we can take x less than z1 less than y. Okay. And x and y are element of E, but z1 is not an element of E. So it is again a contradiction to the property that we have assumed. Hence, it means that this property, if we assume that E is not connected, then our property, it will be a contradiction to our property. And property is that whenever x element of E, y element of E, then z is an element of E. So, whenever x and y are in E with the property that x less than z less than y, this should imply that z is an element of E. So, it means that E should be connected. So, we have proved the necessary and sufficient condition for a subset E of R to be connected. Okay, thank you.